Water, essential to life and the health of our planet, is approaching a breaking point.
Maharashtra is grappling with a devastating water crisis.
Scientists, media, and policymakers have warned about a global water crisis.
What we have been told for years is the idea that to solve water crisis, we need to be using less water.
We should be scrambling to save water.
A little known fact about AI is the amount of water it consumes to generate content.
That all our water demands can be met just by saving water. Isn't it the most backward way of looking at things?
Look at it this way.
Water is another impact that we will see because of climate change.
Think about it. India is the country to receive 4000 BCM of rainfall. We just need 1120 BCM, yet we just store 750 BCM out of it. That means it is not the scarcity problem, but the storage problem. With growing tech, AI, as well as our consumption pattern, saving water cannot be the only option for us. We need to be having way more water than we have now, because by 2030 we might run out of water.
Please don't waste any water.
The goal isn't to use less, it is vastly more water, to generate more, to recycle more, and to collect more and more water. But as long as India don't have the infrastructure to collect more water, or the only water that is available to us is groundwater, saving water is the only real option for us.
India is either too much, too little, or way too polluted.
Noted, India extracts way more groundwater than the USA and China combined, and almost 89% of our groundwater goes to agriculture. The remaining 11%, that's what we have been asked to save. If we are dependent majorly on groundwater, we are in kind of a thread, because the rate at which we are extracting groundwater is way much higher than the speed at which groundwater is getting recharged.
Water has already maxed out. We have pumped out so much water, we have changed the Earth's spin.
But if 89% of our groundwater goes to agriculture, the real question shouldn't be about water, but why Indian agriculture is built this way. In 1960s, when India was dependent on America for food, that's when we have decided to become self-sufficient. The government introduced high-yield wheats and rice seeds that needed water on demand. The only way to do this at scale was groundwater. Dig a borewell, attach a pump, get water whenever the crop needs it. To make sure farmers actually grew these crops, the government guaranteed them the fixed price known as MSP. And to make sure that pump cost nothing, electricity for agriculture was made free or nearly free of cost. The surprising fact is it worked. India went from importing grains to exporting it within a decade. The problem here is, even after 66 years of revolution, the policy remains the same, so as the extraction of groundwater. But then the most obvious question arises, that if everybody knows what's happening, then why nobody is trying to change it? Back in 2022, the government announced cash incentive to a farmer to switch to a less water intensive way of growing rice. Adoption of this scheme can reduce the groundwater usage, and it allowed farmers to sow rice earlier, which was eventually to give more time to farmers between rice harvest and sowing of wheat. But just by changing one variable, we can't change the whole system overnight, right? Every single way India has tried has failed at some level. Not at the idea level, but at the structural level.
It must be our last resort. There may be a diplomatic solution.
The hard part was never the idea, but getting million farmers to change together. We don't have technology problem, but an imagination problem, where we are not willing to take any major steps.
Just imagine. Close your eyes and imagine.
There are unlimited solutions that exist on paper. Every year a new scheme can be changed, a new promise can be made. A farmer in India cannot have room to experiment. They are already working on survival basis. That's why any changes in technology or capital cannot be an option for someone whose entire earnings depends on season's crops. Every other solution that has been designed does make the work of the farmer more difficult. So the real question shouldn't be about the technology, but about the farmers. Solutions should be designed around the farmers who already exist. And what if we can do it in real? India receives more rainfall than any comparable sized country. So this abundance has made us believe that water is something that will automatically arrive and not something that we have to build with. The rain will fall automatically. It will get stored in the ground. It is free and fall every year. That's the reason monsoon has just become a fate system and not an engineering problem. But think about it. What if we actually change the way we see water and work seriously towards it? how it can look like in practice.
Step wells are the traditional water harvesting storage tanks developed to cope up with seasonal fluctuations in water availability.
For years, we have been following the traditional water system like Johads in Rajasthan or Airy system in Tamil Nadu or bamboo system in Meghalaya. We have introduced the world to rainwater harvesting and we ourselves have stopped following.
Not a new idea. This is not a new idea. This is an old idea.
When the rain comes, these slow down the flow, create pools and encourage the water to seep into the earth and replenish ground stocks.
As borewells got introduced, fetching water became the easiest and most cheapest source. Now the question can arise that if traditional water systems are gone and borewells are the problem, what about modern rainwater harvesting? It does work. It recharges aquifers, reduces runoff, cuts dependence on municipal supply. But what it can't do is it can't work at scale water actually moves. A rooftop tank has a size limit. It comes with a huge cost as well as it cannot recharge the groundwater at bigger scale. The problem was never that we lacked water or we lacked solutions. But our solutions has always been designed around extractions like dig more borewells, build more canals. We never thought of designing the solutions that can build around recharge to put water underground. That's the imagination gap and it doesn't require any technology to solve it, but deciding that water is not something that we wait for, but we have to build it.